Universe Nigeria 2024 is well and truly underway, and I know that I talked at length in my last video about how Miss Universe Nigeria is probably using Chidimma Adetshina in a certain way in order to garner more viewership and more attention on their pageant this year. And obviously they have won, because here I am. Listen, do as I say, do not do as I do. I am not some sort of preacher or prophet or saint. I just have to go where my passions in pageantry and my interests lead me, and it is leading me towards Miss Universe Nigeria, which is happening on the 31st of August. You know, it's like a car wreck by the side of the road. I am driving by slowly and rubbernecking, trying to see what's happening. This is me with Miss Universe Nigeria this year, because I just have to know where Chidimma's story ends. So I have been looking with interest at all of the contestants. In this video, I will be introducing you to them, and let me just say that Miss Universe Nigeria this year is looking quite interesting. So let's get into it. Firstly, representing Abia State, we have Chioma Nkumeh, and she is a model and she stands for women empowerment. Representing Abuja, we have Lucille Oputa, who is an actor and entertainment and also into empowerment and social justice. And can I just say that I absolutely love Abuja's candidate. Then there's also Akwa Ibom, who is represented by Happiness Inatak, who is a broadcaster and beautician and stands for female empowerment. Then there's also Anambra Paula Ezendu, who is a model and stands for quality health for everyone. I adore her. She was in the top 5 at Miss Universe Nigeria 2023. Then Bayelisa is represented by Fortune Kurubo, who is a podcaster and stands for women's health. Benue is being represented by Joy Omanibe, who is an air hostess and esthetician and also stands for child welfare and rural development. I love her. Then Cross River is being represented by Emanuela Egbodor, who is a model and does humanitarian work. Delta is being represented by Sarah Ruwese Olotu, who is a medical doctor. Ebonyi is being represented by Oryi Mother Teresa, who is a model. And Edo is being represented by Edifo Brittany Akwele, and she is a model and education and healthcare advocate. Ekiti is being represented by Esther Gabriel, who I love. She is an HR professional and is advocating for female child education. She was also the first runner-up at Miss Globe 2021. So come on now, there's lots of potential there. Enugu is being represented by Uchechi Uchenna, who is a poet slash storyteller and stands for mental health and education for underprivileged children. Imo is being represented by Kenneth Igbokwe, who is a fintech professional and domestic violence advocate. Kaduna is being represented by Sophia Chika Nelson, who is a beauty entrepreneur and woman empowerment advocate. Kogi is being represented by Zulehat Oyarazi, who is a fashion model. Kwara is being represented by Ufa Dania, who is a content creator. Lagos is being represented by Favorite John, who is a makeup artist and a youth empowerment advocate. Niger is being represented by Priscilla Umehia, who is a product designer. Ogun is being represented by Deborah Anosike, who is a model and architecture graduate, and she stands for education and women's empowerment. Ondo is being represented by Peace Ayegbedun, who is a fashion designer and who was also in the top 15 back in 2022 at Most Beautiful Girl Nigeria, who was the franchise holder previously for Miss Universe and also currently for Miss World, I believe. Osun is being represented by Ifunanya Nledu, who was present in the top 15 at Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria in 2011. Oyo is being represented by Elizabeth Salawu, who is a mental health advocate and an entertainer. Plateau is being represented by Chioma Ogbona, who is a baker. Rivers is being represented by Nekachi Douglas, who is a model, an actor, and you know, she's no stranger to pageantry, having been previously in the top 5 at Miss World 2019, being Miss World Top Model 2019, and also having been Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria 2019. And then lastly, we know this face, Taraba's Chidimma Adetshina, who is 23 years old, as we know, and she lists her occupation as a model, but of course we know that she's also a mother of 1 and a divorcee, and her prior pageant experience does include being in the top 10 at Miss South Africa 2024, although she did withdraw. So those are the 25 women competing for the title of Miss Universe Nigeria this year, and I just had to talk about my top 5, my top 6 actually. I couldn't narrow it down to just 5s in no particular order, but okay, it's alphabetical. So it's an alphabetical order, starting with Abuja. I just think that she's beautiful, she's confident, she seems like she has it together. She seems like she has a game plan for this. Then we also have Anambra, who was in the top 5 at Miss Universe Nigeria last year, so I do not see a reason for her not to at least get into the top 5 at Miss Universe Nigeria this year. Then there's also Benue or Benu. I don't know. I feel so self-conscious because I do know how to pronounce certain things in theory, but I don't know. Nigeria is so far away from South Africa and Namibia. I don't know if the same lingual rules still apply up there. So Benue, I don't know how to pronounce this, but anyway, she is one of my faves. She's absolutely gorgeous. She seems like a very well-rounded contestant. Then of course there's Ekiti, who was the first runner-up at Miss Globe once upon a time. Now you guys know I don't really see Miss Globe as a major international pageant. It's not one of the 6 that I really respect that much. But I do still think it's a big deal that she got first runner-up at a well-recognized international pageant. And to me, she's also beautiful. So I don't see a reason why she shouldn't end up in the top 5 at Miss Universe Nigeria this year. Then Rivers, of course, you guys know I fell in love with this woman during her reign as Miss World Nigeria, during her representation of Nigeria at Miss World. If you know, you know, this is a true girl's girl. I definitely think that she has what it takes and deserves a high placement at Miss Universe Nigeria this year. She's definitely one of my favorites. And then lastly, Taraba, our girl Chi. Now I'm not going to say that I'm supporting her just because she's South African. Of course not. I'm supporting her because she was actually a great contestant throughout the entirety of Crown Chasers. You guys know that I think by the end of it all, just before she decided to withdraw from Miss South Africa, she was like my number 4, number 5-ish on my list, you know, and Onalena, Mia, Nompumelelo, obviously they were my top 3, but Chichi was like my number 4-ish. And so I do think that she's a great contestant. Obviously she's stunning, she's gorgeous, so we'll have to see how she does. She definitely has the aura of an international representative, so I'm not taking that away from her. I do think she's a great contestant. Would I wish that she had waited a little bit before jumping headfirst into another national pageant of this size? Yes, I do wish that Chichi had given some time between now and her next, you know, great pageant endeavor, just because the investigation on her mother and the fraud thing, it's all still ongoing. And you know, the pressure of competing, especially representing a country internationally whilst being investigated for illegal activities, you know, that must be a lot for one person to bear. And so for Chidimma's sake, I hope it all works out. I hope it all works out. I will be supporting her. I will be supporting her just because I believe in what she brings to the table as a contestant. However, I do not agree with her decision to compete in such a major way shortly after it being discovered that her mother is allegedly this criminal who committed fraud. And by the way, one thing that I also found out is that the woman whose identity was allegedly stolen by Chidimma's mother, she luckily only took a few months. She didn't take that much time to regain an identity. She just basically got a new ID number somehow, and so she hasn't been suffering for 23 years as some people have alleged. So that's good news. That's good news at least. Like, the woman, she didn't have to suffer for the past 23 years without an identity, because imagine that. Anyway, going back to Rivers, going back to our girl Nekachi Douglas. If you guys didn't know either, for those of you who didn't really get that into Miss World in 2019, she was actually in the top 5. She won the top model competition, but her reaction to Jamaica winning Miss World was so incredibly wholesome and beautiful that it won her so many supporters. And she's definitely been feeding into this. Like with the recent voting thing, we're supposed to be voting for the women online. Nekachi has been definitely very careful about saying vote for whoever you think is best. I'm not going to say vote for me, because together we are so many incredible women, so vote for whoever she definitely knows her brand as a girl's girl, which I respect. But on the topic of Miss Universe Nigeria, they have this social media challenge now for the girls, where they're supposed to talk about their advocacy, and the person who gets the most engagement on their advocacy, they win this social media challenge. But going into the Miss Universe Nigeria website, where you're supposed to vote for these women, nowhere could I find a little profile on these women anywhere, detailing who they are, where they're from, what their background is, educational, occupational, or otherwise, what their charity background is, even pageantry background or anything like that. It's impossible to find info on these women, and I just think that that's such a shame, because the website dedicates this little space to voting. You might as well add a little bit about who the women are, their ages, for goodness sake, what they do, etc. That would actually have been very helpful and very nice. Instead, I've had to scour their social media and the internet like some sort of deranged stalker, trying to find out what I could about them. Anyway, I'm looking forward to whatever's going to be happening at Miss Universe Nigeria this year. Hopefully someone who is worthy gets crowned. All of them are worthy, but hopefully, an amazingly well-prepared, well-rounded contestant who will be able to get that placement or win at Miss Universe for Nigeria will be crowned. Whether or not that is Chidimma remains to be seen. I do definitely think that she is able, she's more than capable. We know that she is a great contestant, but oof, guys, I still feel somewhere in my heart that having your mother be investigated for fraud and you yourself being connected to this investigation, do you really think this is the time to go and compete? Given the circumstances, given these allegations against you, your mother literally, allegedly committed identity theft in order to register you as a South African because your father was Nigerian and your mother was Mozambican. For you to then go to Nigeria after having had to withdraw from South Africa, to then go to Nigeria whilst this investigation is still ongoing, the optics are just, it's horrible. It's not looking good. It's just, Chidimma! She should have laid low. She should have, I will stand by this. Even if she wins Miss Universe Nigeria, nay, even if she goes on to win mother flippin' Miss Universe, I will still say that she should not have put herself at risk like this, because we know, if she wanted the bombardment of comments and people having an opinion over her life to stop, then she could have just been like, okay, peace, I'm out, I'm not competing at Miss South Africa anymore, I'll see you guys when I see you, goodbye. But now it just feels like she's sort of milking it. Okay, so yes, okay, that's my opinion on all of this. That is my top 6 for Miss Universe Nigeria. We'll have to see how things go, guys. I'm so excited to see. Like I said, I will be the first to admit, it's basically me driving past a car wreck at this point. I just want to see where it goes. Like, on one hand, I'm like, Chidimma, no, quit. What are you doing? Lay low. But on the other hand, I'm like, go on. I wanna see how it ends. I'm a horrible person. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Hello everyone, my name is Chidimma Adetshina, and I cannot start off this video without expressing my gratitude to the incredible people who have shown me so much love and so much support. Now, I have received an invitation from the Salvador group, who are the organizers of the Miss Universe Nigeria beauty pageant. And I say this with great excitement because I have decided to participate in the Miss Universe Nigeria 2024 beauty pageant. Now, I understand the expectations and responsibilities that come with this title, and I am so excited to embark on this journey. And I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to participating in Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, Miss Universe Nigeria.